Hey guys, it's Narelle here, and welcome back to a very fun video. I officially did I tried to follow and do another person's tutorial, and let me tell you, it was a experience in one. So the tutorial I chose to follow is Mark Crilley's tutorial of how he drew Yatoo from Noragami, because I've never really drawn Yatoo that much, so I'm like, you know what, maybe I can use the tips and the tricks from Mark Senpai. So as you can see, I am not putting the video footage of Mark physically drawing Yatoo, because one, guys, his video is 22 minutes long, and I do not want you guys to sit through a 22-minute long video of me and him both trying to struggle at the same time. So you're welcome. I just figured that I just show my drawing process, while at the end you'll see how his turned out, and after that you'll see how mine turned out. So let me just go back and just kind of sort out how I felt while doing this. Originally I just played around with it in my mind. I'm like, do I really want to do this challenge? Do I not? Sounds cool, but it doesn't really, I don't know, spark my interest. But the more that I thought about it, I'm like, I really want to do it. So I looked up everyone's tutorials that interest me, and Mark Crilley just kept coming to my mind. So I went to his how to draw playlist, and the one that caught my eye the most was Yatoo, because again, I don't draw him at all. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do Yatoo. And the thing that scared me the most is drawing the way Mark Crilley does, because if you guys don't know, and if you guys do not follow much of Mark Crilley, he uses a lot of guidelines to do his work, and he uses a lot of shapes and all that good stuff. So when you're following his tutorial, you're like, my lord, this is getting nowhere. I don't see how it's going to look like how he did it. But then once you follow it and continue it, after you follow it and continue the steps, you're just like, oh my gosh, it turned out to be a beautiful butterfly, which is what I had, because while I was drawing this, I'm like, how did he even make it from this to this? And then I'm like, wow, it actually does turn out good. I actually do notice my flaws in my picture. One of the eyes is higher than the other, which is something I typically always do. I don't know why that's such a problem with me, but since I was following a tutorial, I'm like, you know what, I'm not even going to fix it. I'm just going to keep on and just keep going. So would I recommend this challenge for you guys? I would say if you honestly really want to see how fun it is, I would recommend it. But if you honestly do not feel like you would want to waste your time on this challenge, please don't. It took me like an hour just to get this done. I'm not even lying, guys. It's straight hour. I had to sit there and skip some parts of the videos to where I just looked at his image just to kind of copy, because I was not going to sit through a 22-minute video learning how to draw one person. I'm sorry, Mark Crilley. But it actually was really fun. It was actually kind of fun drawing in the style that's not mine, because the whole time I had to remember, hey, this isn't my style, it's Mark Crilley's style. So the things that I don't agree with really doesn't matter, because that's the point of the challenge. You have to draw in someone else's tutorial. And I was actually watching one of Future Magaka's video. Well, I watched her video of this where she did Sophie-chan, and she made an interesting point at the end, and she was just like, she should have did her own character instead of someone else's, because you can relate to the challenge a lot more, and it's not that hard for you because you know how to draw your own character. And since I chose an anime character, I kind of didn't have that leeway. So if you guys are going to follow a legit basic tutorial about how to draw hair, try to draw your own character and then put the tutorial with it, because it makes the tutorial a little bit more enjoyable. So I would recommend it if you just want to have fun and you have time to kill. But if you honestly do not have time, I would not recommend this tutorial, this challenge, because oof, I cannot. But the things I liked while doing this little video, I kind of liked how Mark kind of measures everything, because he measures things perfectly right. and he actually makes things make sense, because as you saw in the beginning of the video, I'm like, how does hair work like this? And as soon as I kept adding on, I'm like, wow, it really does make sense. Just kind of figure out the basic shape of your character's hair and just add on from there, because the way I do hair is very detailed. I don't really break it down to shapes. I tend to like draw every strand, but now that I see how this worked well, I'm like, maybe I should just do shapes to make my life a lot easier. And I really loved how simple Mark really made this tutorial, and then he added the option, if you really want to go further and add a lot of detail, you can. But if you just like the gist of how you draw Yatoo, that's all you really need to know. You really don't need to add all the detail that he does. That's the one thing I kind of like, Mark, you add a lot of detail, but beginners are not going to know how to do this. Because when I started watching Mark Crilley, I was scared out my life trying to follow one of his tutorials, because I was not up there in art. I'm not saying that I am up there, but at least I know a little bit, so I was more comfortable following it. But I would say details, if you know you cannot get that right, please do not try to follow. Just try to get the basic shapes and just trying to understand how a character is a character. There's another thing I really wanted to say, but I didn't say it. Oh, I actually made this my own, as you can see here. I just didn't like the way I was doing his style, so I'm like, once I get to like the quote-unquote inking, I would make it my own and make it something that I like and not something that he did. Because as an artist, you have to take your own artistic ability and apply it. Yes, I'm doing someone else's tutorial, but that doesn't mean I have to draw like that person, because the whole time I'm like, I really wish I was drawing in my style right now. So I'm like, screw it. I'm coloring the way I color, and I felt good. I felt really good. And a couple of parts of my videos got corrupted. I don't know why. My iPod just probably wasn't having it. It probably was like, I'll stop with this challenge, because I was close to there. So there are a lot of stuff missing. I'm sorry, but I will have the finished image at the end so you guys can see how Yatoo turned out. And I know Mark actually does use pencil for shading, but I was like, I'm not killing myself today. So I just colored all the black with ink, and it made my life so much easier than it would have been if I tried to do this whole thing in pencil. I actually tried it on the hair. I don't know if I still have the footage, but I did start to crosshatch his hair, and I'm like, nah, forget this, and I just colored it with ink. So yeah, that's basically it. I have nothing else to talk about for this. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It was really fun. Again, it's just very interesting to see how well you could do someone else's tutorial, and also it's fun how well someone else can kind of get where you're going, because this is why I don't do tutorials, guys, because I do not explain words, and it's kind of hard to do someone's tutorial if they don't legit teach you how to do something, so you kind of have to guess. So I picked the right person because Mark teaches you everything, but if I pick the person that kind of already knows what they are doing and they already know what their goal will look like, it's going to be harder for you to follow. So I would suggest to find a person that really does teach you and all that good stuff. So yeah, you're seeing me crosshatch his hair, and I'm like, I don't really like it. So in the next clip, you'll see it all inked in, which I really like more than the crosshatching. But there's another thing I found really weird. I actually found out that as soon as I was still finishing the piece, he started to resemble Masaomi from Da-Da-Da-Da. I personally don't think this looks like Yatoo. I think I failed. I think when I inked in the black with his hair, I'm like, yeah, this is Haru from Free cosplayed as Yatoo, because it doesn't look like him. I really don't think this looks like Yatoo at all. Let's just say it's Haru cosplaying as Yatoo, and we'll just end it from there. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will have Mark's tutorial on the screen if you want to do this tutorial yourself and see how far you get with Yatoo. And if you want to subscribe to Mark Crilley, I will have his little channel thing on my screen, so you can go follow him. And I am not sponsored by Mark Crilley. I know I'm sounding like I am, but I'm not. I just really want you guys to go check him out, because he's literally amazing. He does tutorials, he does everything. So if you ever are in need with help with art wise, go to Mark Crilley. He's amazing. So thank you guys so much for watching, and that's it. That's pretty much it for me. On my live streams on Instagram, I do show sneak previews of my new upcoming drawings. I showed this one on my live stream I did on Wednesday. So if you come to my live streams, you'll see my drawings for Friday early. So make sure you come. I don't know if I'm going to have a steady schedule with live streaming since I got a job. So whenever you see me stream, please come if you want to see what picture is going to be Friday's video, because I think that's actually quite cute. So I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna go and enjoy my chocolate bar that I got, because I miss my chocolate after these 3 days, sorry, of pain and suffering for losing my teeth. So bye guys.